Well, good morning, YouTube friends and family. Welcome to day 6 of Sourdough Starter series. That is so hard to say, y'all. So first, I have to say this, y'all. Guess what? I got up this morning to check my comments that came during the night, and we hit 3,800 subscribers. Thank you all so much. First, welcome to everyone new, but I want to thank my current subscribers because you all are rock stars. Some of you have watched me from the very beginning. You've shared my videos, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Whether you're long-term or new, I'm so glad you're here. So, cheers, y'all. It's 5:30. I'm a very early riser, so this doesn't bother me. But I find it hard to get my coffee quota in before I start to do this video because I kind of sippy sip through the morning. But anyway, I made a mistake. I know y'all, you're like, what? Because I make lots of them, for those of you who are new. So there were 4 of you who saw the video before I caught the mistake, which I had caught yesterday and then uncaught it, and then, no, it's a whole thing. So because I'm doing 2 different days, one of my starters is a day behind the other, all of a sudden I was like, oh no, I did it wrong. I got a day ahead of myself, but I didn't. So I caught it before I uploaded the video. I took that video down, I re-uploaded, but you know what I did, y'all? I re-uploaded the same ding dang video instead of the one I'd edited. So whether you fed on day 5 100 grams of everything or 150, you're okay. You fine, y'all. Hopefully I caught it, and I also put a note in the community tab. I caught it in time that no one will give up their starter. If you have a question, you have a problem, you don't want to leave a comment, send me an email, y'all. I'll send you a revised schedule. All right. So we are coming along really, really well. One more sip of coffee. Oh, y'all. And in case you're like me and you can't remember, I put a 5, and using a Sharpie, okay, I should not lick my fingers. Using a Sharpie, you can just erase your day super easily. With like a wet washcloth, it'll come right off. So no worries there, okay? So I am going to, first thing I'm going to do is put a big number 6 on Winston so I don't forget what day we're on. All right, look, y'all, look how happy Winston is. Now, again, I'm using the 1 liter lait parfait. It is really coming up in the jar. And today we're gonna be feeding even more starter. So if you haven't increased your jar size, if you haven't put a dish or whatever underneath your starter, today might be the day that after you feed, you get an overflow. So I encourage you to do that. So today, super simple. We're gonna do, we're gonna throw some things on the floor. We are going to, okay, hang on guys, let me get it to creams. We are gonna do 200, 200, 200. So in a clean jar, first thing you want to do, always, is stir down your starter. Now, sometimes I get some dryness on the top. I think that's because I use a heat mat. You can pick it off, you can stir it in. I find stirring it in works just fine. And what you are going to notice today is while this starter is still quite thick, ooh, sorry y'all, still thick, it is a little bit looser. And okay, we're gonna have more pour off. So y'all notice something? I did go ahead and purchase a new My Way scale before, if you saw yesterday's video on Temu, before I got the other scale. And that way I'm going to be able to use this one straight up just for food and not for my soap, bath and body products. Not that, because I keep it covered, not that it gets contaminated. But the bottom line truth of the matter is, the lye is caustic. The fragrance oils, if you drip it on the door, okay, it just gets looking really sad, and it's kind of embarrassing to drag it out. So here we go. 200 milligrams of our starter. Milligrams. Good grief. Once a nurse, always a nurse. Grams. And I want to tell you what mine smells like. And guys, again, if you're measuring it out like this and you're like, oh no, I'm a little bit over, just feed equal parts of flour and water. Okay, so I hit 204. It's really starting to get that fermented grain smell. This would be good to use the pour off. So let me show you. You're gonna have a lot more left. So that's probably 3/4 of a cup. And full disclosure, I'm gonna make something out of it. There is a difference between using pour off before you're fully fermented to add to things like pancakes or biscuits than how you will use it if you're actually making a sourdough product. So the first thing I'm going to be making and sharing with you is a pizza crust, because I've been craving pizza so bad lately. So when you're using pour off, you can use it before you feed it, when you're in the ferment process. When you're using sourdough to make something like a bread, a pizza crust, where you're wanting the rising, you want to use it when it's been fed a couple hours later, when it's on the rise, because you want your product to rise really well. Hope that clears it up. Okay, so let's get our 200 grams, not milligrams. Oh, y'all. While I'm awake, I find I misspeak a lot more. So let me go. I'm going to go 204 because that's how much starter I put in. Oops, not 211. Good gravy, Mabel. 204. Buy a lottery ticket, y'all. I hit it on the nose. Now, let me pop this in the microwave. Hold on. So one of the advantages of wearing the lavalier mic, or the wireless mic, was I could walk away from the camera and you could still hear me, but that's not the case when I don't have it on. And y'all might be wondering, why is your video quality or your audio quality so poor? It's not my camera, it's me. I just have one of those voices that does not carry, and I'm a quiet speaker, so that's why I have so much trouble. Okay, let's grab our water. Let me just share a fun fact with y'all. I just think this is funny. So I do have an older sister who's 4 years older than me, and she is a loud talker. And as a kid, she did all the talking for me. I never had to worry about it. So, yeah, I did not get that gene pool. All right, so let me add the water. Now, one of you wonderful subscribers brought up a good point, and I did talk about it a little bit on yesterday's video, but it is easier to stir in the flour, in my opinion, if you put the water in first. Now, I haven't been stirring it, like stirring the starter and water together. I've just been plopping the flour on top and calling it good. So I'm going to try it a little different today. I've never done it this way, and mix this up and see if the flour is easier to go in. So I did hear a name this morning, I think it was this morning, of someone's starter. So thank you for sharing that. Y'all that are participating, jump on that bandwagon. Tell me what you're naming it, because I know y'all have good imaginations and are going to come up with some really cute names. Well, y'all, I think this will be easier. It's so important that you get a good mix so that all of the sourdough starter has access to the food. Okay, let me turn this back on. Grab our rye flour. When I get done here, I have a big mess to clean up. I picked this up by the top and it busted open and it went all over the floor. So again, we're going to add our 200 grams of flour. So what am I going to do with my pour-off today? Personally, I've tried a lot of different things with pour-off, just to be honest. And for me, pancakes were the most successful before it's fully fermented. Oh boy. Winston, you're going to get a jar today because you are a jar. Good Lord, a plate. All right. Oh, almost. There we go. So let's see if this flour is actually easier to stir in. Oh yeah, I think it will be. So you can see this is a 1 liter, not a quart. Many of you will want to just go ahead and move to the ½ gallon. I have a feeling we're going to have some overage. So after this one, I am probably going to go to the bigger jar. I do have the next size Le Parfait, but it's pretty big. So on Miss Lori's starter, I moved, and I'll show you in a minute, on the AP flour starter, I went ahead and moved to a, this is your morning workout, y'all. I give you permission to skip your workout. I switched to ½ gallon jar yesterday because that starter rises, it's a lot thinner and it rises a lot higher in the jar. Yeah, y'all, that is definitely a whole lot easier, so thanks. I didn't ask if I could share your name, but thank you to the person who commented. So, don't want to start any drama in the sourdough series. Offend anybody. And that's not a cut against the person who said it. I have great respect for you all and your privacy. And some people just do not want to be called out. They get embarrassed. And I understand that. I don't want to offend anyone. All right. Wow, that is really goopy. I will tell you, yesterday, I had a heck of a time getting that jar clean. I had to scrub and scrub. So the one disadvantage to the Le Parfait jar, you know, you see the raised name. It's indented on the inside and stuff. Oops. There's some dry flour. Stuff does have a tendency to stick. Oh yeah, I got a dry pocket. So y'all, take a look around your jar. Because, yep, I got 2 dry pockets. So I still do think it's easier to do it the way I showed you and put the water in and stir. All right, that looks good. So we're coming up in the jar. We're getting a lot more. And in case you're wondering, when will I be able to use my starter? I usually go 10 days on this feeding process personally because I like it very sour. But each day I'll be smelling it. I'll be talking about how it smells and how it looks so that you'll have an idea when you might want to start using it for your bread and other products. All right, Winston, step aside. All right, y'all, just to show you Miss Lori's starter. So I did write on the lid on this too. So let's just change that to a 5. So I won't get the days mixed up. Now, look, I still have separation. Look how high that went in the jar. This is very active. See all the bubbles? Let me grab a clean spatula. I'm going to stir it together. So if any of you are using her method, I mean, I give her full credit. Go watch her video. She is the expert on AP flour starter. But y'all look at this. This is pretty amazing. Look how bubbly. Can y'all see that? I hope so. So today I'm cutting back the feeding of Herman. So I'm going to get that done, get them both put back to bed. And then tomorrow I will be able to use the starter to make bread, to make English muffins, to make whatever I want. And again, y'all, I'm going to separate the recipe videos from the starter videos so that they're not too long for y'all. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Drop me a comment. How is your starter coming along? Do you have any questions, and what did you name it? I will see you all in the morning, bright and early, 5:30 bells for me. All right, take care. I will see you then.